this video, we're looking at simultaneous linear inequalities of two variables. How do I solve simultaneous linear inequalities? Not linear equation now. Now linear inequalities. Now, very simple. Just the idea that we've seen in our previous classes, of solving linear inequalities involving two variables. I'm going to be using the same idea to solve this question. Solution. Now, what is the idea? To solve for this, you put your x as 0 to get y. To solve for y also, you put your x as 0, to solve for y relatively. So, when x equals 0, for number 1, when x equals 0, my y equals to what? My y is what? My y is less than 3. If I put 0, y becomes what? Less than 3. Strictly less than what? 3. And also, when y equals 0, what happens? My x is what? When y equals 0 from here, my x will be what? Greater than minus 3, because I'll be dividing both sides by what? Minus 1. So my x will be greater than what? Minus 3. Now let's just check with this second equation to relatively confirm also. If my x is 0, my y will be what? Greater than my y. If my x is 0, for second equation, when x equals 0, what happens? My y is greater than or equals to what? When x is 0, y will be greater than or equals to what? 4. And then when y equals 0, my x will be what? If y is 0 from here, my x will be greater than or equals to what? 6. Okay, now from here, what will I do? I will plot the graph of this first linear equation, linear inequality, then I'll plot the graph of the second one, linear inequality, all on the same graph. So let's just make this like this. Okay, now we can see that for our graph we have 3 minus 3, 4 and 6. Y is 4, x is 6. So for this one I can say this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Negative x stopped at 3. Okay, negative x stopped at what? 3. So I'm going to have that minus 1, minus 2, minus 3. This is 0 for both x and y. For y, highest positive is what? 4. So I can have this as 1, 2, 3, and what? 4. Negative y, no negative y. So I can just put minus 1 here. Now remember, this is what? Plus y. This is what? Minus y. This is plus x. This is what? Minus x. And so let's now plot. For the first equation, what do we have? We have x as what? Minus 3. Y as what? 3. X as minus 3. Y as what? 3. So I can have something like this. Okay, now this is dotted. It should be dotted because it is strictly less than. Please be reminded, this should be dotted. If this is dotted, what is the sign? Is it greater than or less than? Remember, to get that, we have to do what? Make y square root of formula from there. If I make y square root of formula, it means it will still be less than here. If it is less than, where will it face? It is what? Facing here. So I'm going to shade this part of my linear graph. Now that's for the first one. For the second one, I have what? Y to be what? 4, x to be what? 6. If y is 4, this is 4 here, x is what? 6, this is 6 here. So I'm going to be having this point and this point. So I can have something like this. Now this, okay, this is tick. Thank God for that. This is greater than or equals to. This is or equals to or equals to. So let's now see from our equation of y for the second linear inequality. Now what happens if I make y sort of formula here? This is to be greater than y, because y here is positive. This did not also change because y here is positive. If y were to be negative, this will change negatively. So this is still greater than or equals to. And for greater than, what happens? Remember, for this kind of graph, my greater than will be where? Outside here. This is so my greater than what? B. So this is the diagram for this question. So you can shade inside kind of fully and shade outside, of this one. Putting your equation for this inside here, your equation for this outside here. As simple as that. Now for number 2, I'll be applying the same idea. I'll get my x when y is 0, and I'll get my y when x is 0, from which I'll do this also. After doing this, then you plot your graph. Okay, so let's quickly do that. What do we have? When x is 0, my y is what? Less than or equals to what? 2. Greater or equals to minus 3 over 2. From here, you can plot your graph. Plot your graph. What am I going to have? I'm going to have positive y, 2. So I can have 2 here. Negative y, minus 3. So I can have minus 3 around this point. Then positive x, is there no positive x, so only negative x. So I can have minus 4, so this is minus 4. Then this is what? Minus 3 over 2, which is minus 1.5. So if this was minus 1, this is what? Minus 2. This is minus what? 1.5. So let's draw. I have minus 4 and 2 for the first linear inequality. Minus 4 and 2 for the first linear inequality. Okay, this is or equals to. So I can make it like this. They are both or equals to. So now let's see. If I make y sort of formula from here, what happens? This becomes what? It still becomes less than or equals to. So less than is appearing where? It's appearing here. Finally, I have what? Minus 3 and what? Minus 3 over what? 2. I have minus 3 and minus 3 over 2. This is also or equals to. And for this is what? This is greater than. If I make y sort of formula still, it will be greater than. And greater than is at which point? Is at this point. So this is what? This is the linear graph for this question.